Hi, I'm still setting up. I just noticed there's actually quite a few of you in here already. Just want to say we'll be getting started soon. I'm just getting everything set up. And thanks for staying for those ads. First off, I forgot to turn the music back up when I said hi for a second, so sorry about that. Second, welcome on everybody to my first ever cooking stream. Yeah, it's a new thing for me. Uh, so something I actually like doing a little bit is cooking. So, and the one thing I'm really good at cooking that I'm able to say without thinking too much about it is potato soup. So I've gotten several people ask me when I bring that up of like what's your recipe and stuff and how you make it. And it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do a live stream and just point everyone to go watch VOD. or or make a video on it later. But right now we're doing live stream. Um, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly look for something else to listen to that's lo-fi, and then we will get started. So I wires my headset so I can hear y'all and stuff, but should be able to see like the cooking or knives and stuff on the screen. Angle it down a little bit more. It's a little bit better. Okay, good. Let me set my phone. I need to set my phone up anyway so I can see chat better while cooking. Something I will have to watch is my battery life on my laptop because I usually have it plugged in, which I don't at the moment. So I have to make sure that doesn't go all the way down. So anyway, like I was mentioning, the one thing I'm really good at cooking is potato soup. And I was gonna make potato soup tonight, and I figured, why the hell not? I've been wanting to try a cooking stream, so that's what we're doing today. Or night. So for us, a little bit step by step. First things you'll need as just to start cooking or start making it is you'll need a pretty big pot, like this one that I use, which we'll be putting the potatoes in, a cutting board to when we cut them up, knife for said cutting up, and there's two different ways you can peel potatoes. My mom uses this little knife to peel them with. I don't, I use this potato peeler. Yeah, first thing is we need to peel this. And to make it easier, hang on. Forgot I needed the trash can. Get off screen though. There you go. To make them peel easier, you'll want to rinse them off. So let me do that real quick. As you can see, this is now more wet. I don't know if you can actually, but yeah, you can. My phone is like slightly delayed. Let me see if I can fix that. Oh, no, it's just frozen. Okay, great. Never mind. But anyway. Since it's a chat, doesn't matter. So, this is what I do. This isn't necessarily how you're supposed to peel, but it's what works for me, so. Just do that. And it does have to be completely peeled perfect, but we want to get most of the peeling off. Now, personally, I actually knows how to use a peeler better. Can do this way faster, but I can't ever get it to work when how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to be going from bottom up, and I can't ever get that to work for me. I mentioned my mom uses this little tiny knife. I don't know what the hell this is called, but here it is on screen. And she just uses that to peel the potatoes. Because she just can't stand using a potato peeler. It's not a butter knife because it has a sharp edge at the bottom. I think she calls it a paring knife? I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me on that. I know this is a butcher knife. And that's about all I know. Like, when it comes to cooking, I'm very much the same way with art. Drawing, I mean. Which is, I know how to do things. I don't know the technical terms or what things are actually supposed to be called. I just know how to do it. Something I forgot to do is get the lid for the potato soup, but I can do that later. I ain't cooking it yet, so. And you know, the fun thing about making potato soup, or I'm sorry, I'm a little off screen, let me, is you don't, it's one of those things, is A, it's pretty easy to cook, and B, there's a lot of different things you can do to potato soup to make it taste different or better, or do none of them at all. Which, as we get throughout this stream, you'll see what I do personally with my potato soup. And just letting y'all know, kind of like with art, you don't have to follow it exactly. You can just do your own way. Which is part of the reason why I have art, if you go under my tags here on this stream, art is still on there. Because I consider cooking a way of art, because it is. Well, honestly, everything's art. That's like the definition of art. It's just whatever's creative. I do actually live by that mindset, and we'll be a kind of pedantic asshole and live by that of like, no, everything's art. It's not just drawing or painting or content creation. It's pretty much anything creative. That human does. Alright, so we got this pretty much peeled. Like I said, there's some spots here and there with a little bit of peelings, but that doesn't really matter. So you want to get your knife, and you want to cut the potato in half, as so. And then we'll want to cut it in half on each side again. This, let's flip this around here. You want to get about here. You can see it. And make another cut. And just keep on doing that. Cut them chunks. Want to try and get them about this bit here is about as small as you want to make them. Otherwise, they'll get burned up real easy. And cooked up real easy. Like, try and keep them relatively all the same size. Of course, you get bigger into potato, that makes the chunks bigger, so that's why I said relatively. By the way, I kind of just jumped into cooking immediately. I forgot to ask, how is everyone's day going today? My day's been good. Had our exterminator came by today to do their monthly spraying. Get, you know, normal little things. And took a shower. I didn't stream yesterday. Sorry about that. I meant to, but I ended up getting out of the house and went shopping, got some new clothes, which is like the only time I'll ever do this, but got a new shirt and pants. Also, hi, face reveal. Anyway, yeah, crap. Come on. Hey, don't mess with the setup you have, Jerry rigged. I'm doing well, playing Halo Infinite. Oh, nice. And cool. Red? Okay. Yeah. There we go. So I got the camera set back up, and yeah. So we got one potato cut up. You can see here. And we're going to be continuing to cut up about where the middle of my thumb is. So it's about that full. And yeah, I'm off screen, sorry. It's about where the middle of my thumb is. The knuckle. Or not knuckle, this section. Which will take some time. So, now we got the explaining part of what we're doing all done. We can just talk. Give me a second. Go wash this. The other reason why art is still on here as in my what's it called? A category. Tags is because while the food is cooking, the potatoes, when we actually have it on the stove cooking, we're not still technically done because there's a bunch of steps you need to do after it's boiled and the potatoes have cooked all the way to where they're soft. A few more steps after that to where in meantime I figured we'll just draw a little bit until that point is done. Yep. So I didn't realize how late it was today, and that the Thunder game is happening today. So, A, definitely the stream is gonna end when we're done making potato soup, and B, it's gonna be a quick raid out. Yeah. Although it might not be something everyone knows, but here in Oklahoma, our basketball team is called the Thunder. But here's a question. Is football like the only sport that, depending on where you live, it's a completely different game? Like, here in America, we call football and soccer, but in England, it's vice versa. Their soccer is our football, and their football is our soccer. No, okay, yeah. I just find it weirdly interesting how they get to... Like, for one, why the fuck is basketball and soccer just different here in America than it is everywhere else? I'm singling out America because everywhere else has been around longer. So why did we decide to just change the sports names? Okay, so yeah, I grew up. I didn't grow up watching it, but when I was little, I think I'd say around 8 to 10, Cartoon Network aired a Thundercats reboot, and I guess as a marketing to get ready for the Thundercats reboot, they aired a few episodes of the original. So I saw like the first few episodes of the original Thundercats. And I watched, I think, like the first episodes of that remake, and then Cartoon Network, I guess, put in the worst ever time slot because I never saw that thing ever again. Aired in the first episode. It was yeah, it was I don't know. I feel like it just came and went. Like, I don't think Cartoon Network ever gave that one a chance. Then again, I know Cartoon Network, I think that was around the time they started to just went full on Teen Titans Go and stopped giving a shit about all their shows except Teen Titans Go. Look, if I already didn't hate Teen Titans Go because I was a fan of the original Teen Titans show, I would hate it because Teen Titans Go basically killed every other show on Cartoon Network by giving them just shitty time slots, or it's the Teen Titans Go channel, and then regular show, and then it's the Teen Titans Go channel. Animation costs? Huh. That shit, I can see it, because I remember that show had some pretty good animation. From what I remember. Which is funny, because it's from the original Thundercats, which is, in comparison, shoestring budget. Unless it's the opening. Because that was the style at the time. Of have a really cool opening. And then very little everything else. Unless you're Batman. Batman is like the only one that has a really cool opening and actual good animation. I think maybe X-Men. I know Superman does too. Also, back on me knowing Thundercats, what also helps is I'm a fan of Death Battle, the internet show. And it wasn't that long ago I was binge watching all of the Death Battle episodes. I need to get back to doing, but one of their episodes is He-Man versus whoever the main character in Thundercats is. Lion-O, okay. Which, by the way, Thundercats, or Lion-O versus He-Man is actually a really good Death Battle. I would recommend it too. I just like Death Battle as a internet show. Like I said, I've been binge watching them from the very beginning to trying to get to now. And it's fun watching that show develop as a series. In, like, animation quality. Yeah, well, you may not know this, but Death Battle is still going to this day. I think the guy that voices Wiz in Death Battle, he just bought the rights back and made a GoFundMe for Death Battle, which was extremely successful. So, like, it's still going. Yeah, okay, yeah. Hang on, let me wash this potato. But yeah, I've been wanting to... I'm also one of the supporters that helped save Death Battle. I didn't contribute much. I actually don't remember how much I think it was like $30 I contributed. Oh yeah, Bayonetta and Dante. That one is really good. Because some of my favorite are that one, Yang versus Tifa, because I'm a fucking Ruby fan. um, what was the the Deadpool and Slade sauce are really good, and I like their first live action one, which was Nightwing and Daredevil. I remember, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember also really liking Spider-Man 2099 versus Batman Beyond. And Optimus Prime versus one of the Gundam mechs, I don't remember which one, I also really like. I guess if I remember correctly, that one has really good animation too. And I think that's one of the last ones I watched that were in the newer set, because I know that one has an actual original song for it. And here's a question, because it's something I don't know. Does every Death Battle afterwards have an actual original song for it? Because I know everything else, it's more instrumental music, or I'm pretty sure this is just from, or it's just from the show or game series. They do know? Oh, that's awesome. Again, that's like one of the cool things about watching the old Death Battles to now is, again, seeing it progress and grow as a series to where now they just have original music for every fight. Oh, and also, I guess this is kind of the obvious one, but Goku versus Superman is also really, all of them are really good. I haven't seen the third one yet, though. I've only seen 1 and 2. I remember watching, I was talking about Death Battle to someone else once. Hang on, let me catch up on chat real quick. One is... Yeah, I need to watch that one too. I'm getting there. Like the classic? Oh, okay. Okay. Making sure I was reading everything. Where was I? Wow, I lost what I was talking about. I know it's something Death Battle related. Wile E. Kite. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, yeah, I remember I saw Tom and Jerry like them. I guess airing what this character is about first. I didn't see who they were up against though. Okay, but that's actually interesting. I'm curious to see if either of them can even win, because they're like, I remember hearing the joke with Bugs Bunny is you can't kill Bugs Bunny because he's just such a weird immoral creature. Toon Force, yeah, Toon Force. That's why I'm very curious. Because soon a Toon be unkillable. Well, except Tom and Jerry. Unless you believe that one theory, I guess Tom technically can die. Have y'all ever heard that really fucked up theory with Tom and Jerry? Nope. Okay, well, little story for you. So the very original Tom and Jerry, with the original 2 creators, their last episode they ever worked on is where I think Tom is incredibly depressed because he can't just kill Jerry. So he's just sitting at a train yard or on a train rail waiting for the train to come hit him. And like that episode first starts with Jerry trying to get him all happy and then realizing, wait a minute, he's not trying to kill me anymore. So then just leaves and just goes on his own little adventure. Until something happens to where Jerry gets incredibly depressed. To where he then just joins Tom sitting on the rail waiting for a train to come hit them. I mentioned that's the last episode the original creators ever worked on. Soon after, they just got a different group of people to work on Tom and Jerry. Like, there's not even that much of a hiatus. But, so the theory goes, is, by technicality, that's where Tom and Jerry's story ends. Them just waiting for a train to hit them, and it does hit them, and they die. It's really fucked up. And I don't believe it for a second. It's one of those just... Yeah, it is just dark. It's one of those stupid, like, Squidward commits suicide theories, or rumor, or whatever. Or Bart Simpson dies. It's just one of those really, hey, how fucked up can we make this? kind of story. Except, unlike Squidward or Bart, it has an actual, at least somewhat basis of an idea to it. Whereas, like, the Squidward one, it's just some guy making a bullshit. And the Bart one, most likely is also just someone making a bullshit. I don't know, the Tom and Jerry one, at least, it's, like, fun to kind of think about and kind of ponder. But it's also like, there's just a bunch of random shit that happens in Tom and Jerry. I don't think the creators had much thought into it. It's just, for 1950s, I guess that was funny. And that's why they did it. Or 60s. Been watching and reading a lot of old series to change this dark topic. Okay, yeah. Well, to kind of keep it on Tom and Jerry, but make it less dark. One thing really cool about watching old Tom and Jerry's is seeing the evolution of Tom's character as a design. Like how he kind of looked a lot more creepy. Or more cat-like or kind of scary-like. Like he's a bad guy, basically. But as the series progresses, they make him more how we know Tom to look nowadays. Way more friendly. Also, just Tom and Jerry as a franchise, it's fun to watch. To really, when you watch him, realize how Tom and Jerry, you know, starts off with just them trying to kill each other. And, nowadays, I would say a lot of interpretations, they still fight every once in a while, but they're more just friends at this point. They're usually going on adventures together. Which, I don't know, I feel like this might be a hot take, and it could be because I grew up more in the era of them just being more frenemies or friends. But I actually kind of like them just getting along together and going on adventures. With them every once in a while trying to beat the shit out of each other. Then them just full on not liking each other. Also back on potato soup for a quick second. One thing that me and my mom kind of disagree a bit with is I prefer cutting up big potatoes. I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen that show. Let me look it up real quick. I might just not remember the name of it. Oh, gargoyles. Okay, yeah, yeah. I'm dumb. Yeah, I've only seen um about 2 or 3 episodes, and I've always wanted to watch more. Like that's is on my list of shows I want to watch. One of your favorites? Yeah. Well, Gargoyles is like one of the very interesting takes just as a show in general because it's like the only show Disney made in the 90s that actually was plot focused and telling a story. And from what I hear from people who never even grew up watching fucking Gargoyles and just come back to it nowadays, still say it holds up and actually tells good stories. I don't know. It's just it's interesting that it's like the one outlier back then. When that Disney made a suit. Made a suit. Disney made a suit. Oh, okay. Made a suit. I'm not sure you misspelled something there. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Prime. But, anyway, what am I... On Gargoyles said, like I said, seen like 1 or 2 episodes because I just got lucky and, like, Disney Channel re-aired an episode or two. But that's it. Oh wow! So there's just an actual suit as a character. That's funny. Actually, speaking of gargoyles, there's also a death battle with gargoyles in it. So full 6 degrees there. Everything comes back to. But yeah, Gargoyles is one of those shows I really want to watch. I know it's on Disney Plus. I just haven't been able to get that. Yeah, and said that last time it was seen in a Halloween form. Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like hell, since Disney is on such a fucking remake train, I'm sure they'll probably, and Gargoyles is, I would argue, probably one of their most popular 90s shows Disney ever made. Like, if they remade DuckTales, if they fucking hint at a Darwin Duck remake, or at least have them in the DuckTales remake constantly, I'm sure they'll probably make something Gargoyles sooner or later. I think the question there would be is, would they just actually make a new TV series? Like with DuckTales, or would they go on like full remake movie or live action shit? Which I would give Gargoyles at least a benefit of the doubt with live action, because I feel like that out of all of them would actually work the best, since it has already a more darker, realistic theme. Cool. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad at least with very popular shows that might not have ended well, they at least get comics who like, alright, let's wrap this up. Which actually, hang on, give me a second. One of the things I'm really annoyed by as a Spider-Man fan, couldn't tell, because, I'm wearing a fucking Venom shirt right now, and I've done a fucking 100% playthrough of Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and doing 1 of 2 at the moment. I am so fucking annoyed that instead of getting a 97 or 94 Spider-Man show, like X-Men did, we get gypped and get a fucking comic instead. Like, fuck you, Disney. You'll do a 94 X-Men, have Spider-Man appear in that show from what I understand. But we can't actually make a 94 Spider-Man. Why? It's because Sony owns the rights. Is it more the Sony fucking bullshit meddling crap? I don't think it should be, since I think in 94, Marvel technically still owned Spider-Man, all Spider-Man rights at the time then. And they do now, so they shouldn't have a problem doing anything 94 related Spider-Man. Also, I feel bad for Godzilla Mendoza, since he's for the last, I think close to 10 years now, been slowly making and putting out a fan-made continuation of the 90s animated series in the comic form. So, that ain't finished yet still, so I think that's gonna lose momentum, probably, or whatever. Or at least lose traction, and people are actually going to go read it. Which, on the topic of shows and Spider-Man shows, what are y'all's opinions on the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show? The newest one that came out, the 3D animated one. I really liked it. Like I said, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I have, at the very least, seen several episodes of the 94 series. I never watched all of it, but I know how that show ends. And I have 2 DVDs of complete sagas. Like I've seen all the Venom episodes, and there's this one other DVD set I have that I've watched all of. I don't remember what it's called, though. I think it's Revenge of Dr. Octopus or something like that. I'm not sure. I've watched all of Spectacular and fucking sadly Ultimate Spider-Man. The only and I've seen, I think, most of Unlimited and half of the new animated series, the first 3D one. The only ones I really have not seen is all the ones after the 90s. Like, I've seen maybe bits and pieces, and that's it. And I could never get myself to watch the 2017 Spider-Man show. But when it comes to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I really liked it because I just thought, and it falls under the same camp with. You've seen most of them. That's cool. But when it comes to your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, it falls under the same camp that the Homecoming movies fall under me. If we want to go by adaptation, it sucks. There's like a million different things different. We're going by just takes and how it's doing, it's doing its own thing. I think it does a great job. Because, there's a lot of things different with Spider-Man. I know Uncle Ben died, but it doesn't seem like it was anything done because of Spider-Man. Or indirectly because of Spider-Man. Aunt May's younger, like the Holland movies. I guess his dad is still alive, and it's a criminal. That one runaway character, I don't think he's ever even met her in the comics and stuff. But all these with all that being said, Spider-Man as a character, I see him, I see how he talks, I see how he acts. He's still fucking Spider-Man. It's still a good adaptation and take on Spider-Man. Unlike, well, funny enough, Ultimate or 2017, where they're both just very, at best, mid shows, and adaptations of Spider-Man not very good. Like, yeah, I don't think fourth wall breaking Deadpool Spider-Man is very good, and I think Spider-Man 2017. To be fair, I didn't really watch much of it, but what I did watch, it was very bland and boring. And the response I've seen from everyone else online is that show was very bland and boring. That would be very interesting. Yeah. Or a Spider-Man Deadpool movie, I feel like it would be more... Would they actually do a Spider-Man Deadpool movie now that I think about it? Because, I mean, they did one with Wolverine and Deadpool. And, like, if they just kept on doing that, like, team-up thing, the only other one that's really known for Deadpool would be Spider-Man. You don't think they would ever do one? I don't think they would ever do a rated R one. But, I mean, they already tested the waters of doing a PG-13 Deadpool with that What's Upon a Deadpool. So I feel like a more PG-13 Deadpool, they might do a crossover with Spider-Man. I mean, it's not like they can't even have crossovers with Spider-Man, even though Sony still technically owns him, because fucking Doctor Strange is the main character in No Way Home. And Iron Man's is like a main side character in Homecoming. Can I also say, back on the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, another reason why I really like it is in its differences. I think it has the one of the best versions of Harry Osborn's I've ever seen, and I really just like Nico as a character. Like, she's very interesting, and I just like her. I want to know more about Nico. Which in a adaptation of anything, that's like one of the best things you can do, because that's, if I want to know more about her, I don't want to wait for the show. That's the best way you're going to get me to buy or read any of the comics. Which I know are very much different. Because, like, Nico's parents, I don't think, are dead in the comics. And they are most definitely dead in the Spider-Man show. But the reason why I also like Harry Osborn so much in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is because he's actually likable. And I'll piss off probably the one Harry fan here, but I think Harry Osborn just sucks as a character. He sucks mostly in the comics, I'm guessing. He sucks in the movies. He sucks in all the other cartoon films. He just sucks. I don't know a version I like him, because, like, even the Spectacular Spider-Man show, which is, I'll say this right now, the best Spider-Man adaptation ever out there, best show still, and just overall great. He sucks in that show too. He's an annoying prick. The only thing that's... And he has a very annoying voice in that show. The only thing I feel bad... The only thing about Harry I like in that show is I feel bad for him. You know, because he has a way shittier father. That, spoilers, frames him for the shit his father is doing. And I do like the... When you put the pizza together, I like the whole drug aspect to his character in that show. Them dealing with that topic. But other than that, I don't... I still don't like him in that show. I think he's kind of a whining asshole that at the very end of that show is most definitely manipulating Gwen to stay with him. So he's a manipulator of that too, so he's just even bigger asshole in that aspect as well. And like the movie says it's like the same thing of like I feel bad for him as a character, but he's such an unlikable douchebag. Like why is why is Peter friends with this guy? At least with and that's my general question with most versions of Harry. Why is Peter friends with this douchebag? Which is something that is actually solved with Friendly Neighborhood. Because he's a likable character. He is actually trying to help Peter out. And is more of an understanding person. And he still has the element of his father being a douchebag. It makes me feel bad for him. Stepped on a Lego? Yeah. And that's the thing I like about Spider-Man, the Insomniac games as well, is that I haven't finished Spider-Man 2 yet, but from what I've seen anyway, and from the other games, again, Harry's a likable character. He actually feels like Peter's friend. I don't know, maybe this is fixed in the comics a bit. After they brought him back, because from my understanding, this is pretty much... My problem with Harry is pretty much the exact same in the comics, because he's just the same way, from my understanding, until he dies and gets brought back to life. Which is now, I guess, a clone of Harry or some shit. I don't care. Comics are stupid. With Spider-Man, comics are stupid. Because they just refuse to just do the one thing everyone wants them to do. Okay, we're getting there on the potatoes front. My only, like, really thing I wonder with, like, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I wonder what Peter's love interest will be in that show. Since I feel like that... I don't even remember her name, but the one chick he has a kind of a crush on feels very much the same... Her story's gonna end up the same way... That one chick at Homecoming ends, where she'll just move away or just be written off. So I wonder like what Peter's actual love interest will be. If they'll introduce like Mary Jane, if they'll just do more MCU coding and just make Michelle a character. If they'll do something kind of weird and make Gwen a thing, or if they'll just go fuck it and make something new. Me personally, I kind of want them to do something new, since there's already so much new stuff in that show. I just want them kind of like all hands on deck. Fuck it, we're going there. Doing its own original thing. Black Cat, yeah, Black Cat. That would be actually another interesting idea. Actually, do a Black Cat Spider-Man love interest, where it actually works out. That's another cool idea. I will say the only criticism I have with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the only thing I have, and this is my criticism with all of Marvel at the moment, I hate how everything has to be tied into the MCU. I hate how everything has to be in some way, shape, or form influence or mention something that happened in the MCU. That's the only thing that gets me rolling my eyes and so fucking annoyed with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is when they bring up Civil War and how it's pretty much one-to-one the movie, except it's going at what if Peter wasn't recruited by Iron Man. Squirrel Girl? Oh, yeah. Ads? Okay, well, thank y'all for staying for those ads. I will, as Prime's one here really having this conversation with me, I'll kind of wait on continuing that Spider-Man conversation. I will go on to potatoes real quick, because I forgot to continue this conversation. Got caught up in different things. So me and my mom go through this kind of back and forth. She prefers peeling and cutting up small potatoes because they're easier for her to grab in a hand and peel faster. And I prefer cutting up these big potatoes because they're big, and that means when I get them fully peeled and start cutting up, I only have to cut one or two more. Or just a handful more of these guys, and not like fucking 12 small ones. Almost got this one fully peeled. Alright, time to cut this skirt bot guy up. Cut it up. God, I'm hungry. Where'd my Pepsi go? Why did I want Pepsi? I had a Pepsi. Where did I put it? Shit. Okay, you're good. You're back. Okay, so back on the Spider-Man conversation. But yeah, I hate the whole them forcing little bits of like remember this in the MCU bits in Your Family Neighborhood Spider-Man. That's the only thing I don't like. And I'm hoping that's because it's a relic from it being a what if tie-in show to the MCU. It was literally supposed to it was literally marketed and supposed to be basically the origin story of Tom Holland, but like slightly different. Weird thing. And then from making it, I guess they went, that's kind of a dumb idea. Let's just go all out and make its own thing. So I'm hoping, like, there isn't, like, a fucking mention of Infinity War, or Ant-Man and Wasp, or some other fucking Marvel show that happened in between where this Spider-Man show is technically kinda taking place. Like, no. Fucking sap. Like, let it just be its own thing. That's so much to ask. And you know, that's honestly why I fucking like... I haven't watched it yet, but I just like as a concept 94. It's because it isn't a fucking Marvel show that has to either try and pretend to be in the MCU, like all the 2010 shows were, like all those Avengers shows or Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever, and it's not, and it's just doing its own thing. I miss that. Like the only other thing right now in Marvel that's fully doing its own thing is the video games. They're setting their own continuities, or continuity, if you know, just continuity. Which allows different interpretations and different ways how to tell these stories. And I know how that can, like, bite you in the ass, especially, I mean, case in point, Zack Snyder, but, you know, the difference between Zack Snyder and what I'm talking about here is, I'm still imagining you have good fucking people working on the stories that actually like the characters they're supposed to be telling the story about, and not an edgelord who just wants to make everything fucking edgy. Yeah, I don't like Zack Snyder very much. But also, isn't that your, like, main thing? Like, we can all agree, I feel like, that the movies are the main thing. Not even the comic books are the main thing. Because even the comic books will go on to make their characters look like what shows up in the movies. I think the biggest case in points I can point out is how, for a little bit, and maybe even still right now, Frank Castle in the comics looks like the actor that's playing him in the show when he never did before, and how Black Adam looks like the fucking Rock now. In the comics. Anyway, I just liked it when they were allowed to tell different interesting stories that aren't all Rock Adam. Yeah, basically, yeah, because it's like I saw an image of it, and it is literally just a comic book version of The Rock in the fucking Black Adam suit. Which is another thing I hate. I hate the synergy that Marvel is really bad about, and DC is pretty bad about it too in different ways. Everything has to look the same. We can only have one Batman active at a time. We can't have multiple animated Batmans. We can't have multiple Robins. No, if there's a fucking Batman show airing and there's Teen Titans airing, then Batman can't have Robin. If there's a animated Batman show airing, then we can't have a live action Batman show. Nope. Nuh-uh. You're gonna have to make Green Arrow your Batman. Or maybe in that since it was in movies, why they didn't allow that. I'm not sure. All right. Say about one more potato, and we will be good. Let me go wash this one off. Good question. I didn't count. It's really just when it comes with me, it's a vibe system basically. Like I know basically where I want the pot to look, and because potatoes they aren't all an exact size and difference, it's really hard. I would say if I had to put a number on it, I think generally around 6 or 7 to fill this pot up. And then you don't even have to use that many. Like you want, like I make enough to feed not just me but my mom, and for it to last 2 or 3 days. Just put it in the fridge and take it out and reheat a bowl. Oh yeah, sorry. Something I didn't get into, and it's because there really hasn't one shown up, and the only one I did, I just cut it out and forgot to mention it, is sometimes when it comes to these potatoes, you will get eyes or bruises, which are more like in-depth parts of the potato to really get it out. You have to chunk at it and kind of carve it out. Which when it comes to like bumps, you don't really have to do. Like we're kind of bruises. Like that's kind of what this is right here. But I just prefer to cut it out anyway. And with eyes, I think eyes you do have to just cut out in general. I believe, don't quote me on this, I'm not entirely sure on it. Eyes are just where the seeds come out of. Because if you just leave a potato out in a warm environment, or just like out of your fridge, and you wait long enough, it will start growing like roots and seeds out of it. It's fucking disgusting. I hate it when it happens. So I keep my potatoes in the fridge so they don't do that. Okay, and can you explain the black and white? Oh, yeah, I will. I think. One second, let me go get the book so I can show real easy. So BRB, one sec. Okay, I'm back. Luckily, the art book I already had in here. What is the one I needed? So, the black and white bust let's chest up is a channel point redeem where you can get a drawing from me. Now, chest or / bust up is basically character dependent. If it's a male, it'd be chest. If it's a woman, it'd be bust. And that's, well, yeah, from her chest or bust up. So it wouldn't be like her whole body, and it would be in black and white. For example, of what I mean by black and white, which I forgot to take that fucking B thing off. There you go. It'd be something like this. Not exact, because it's a little old. But it'd be basically like that. And it can literally be anything, like the Sonic characters would be, you'd be allowed to do and stuff. And even animals, if you want to, like a drawing of your dog's face or whatever, that would be possible. Might not look great because I haven't drawn a dog in forever, but gives you a JoJo character. Yeah, basically, I was thinking more. The idea was more like kind of noir-y look, you know, black and white. It was just a nice little way to get back to y'all that you know, aren't subscribed. Maybe you're subscribed, maybe you're not, but you're at least here. If you're here long enough to get 10k channel points, then I think you deserve at least a little something as a thank you. And that's at least one way you can do it. That's also why shoutouts is a thing here. Because I think shoutouts, no one likes an asshole that just shows up in a stream like, hey, I'm doing this live stream over here at noon tomorrow if anyone wants to jump in, and then leaves. Those guys get banned usually whenever they do that. Or at best everyone gives them that dirty look. But it's like, also, as a streamer, how the fuck are you supposed to grow? As an artist, how the fuck are you supposed to grow? Unless you do at least some amount of self-promotion. You just gotta find the right spot for it. And that's the kind of idea there. Because I feel like, you know, with my community, I don't want to just be all about me. You know, I have like a bunch of friends. And the only reason why I'm like affiliate here on Twitch is from them helping me out and being learned I was a live streamer and shouted me out. So my idea, I think, a good way to do that, but make sure it's still within this community I'm trying to grow in here, is make it where you're allowed to do that if you use a channel point routine. Because again, that's another one of like, you have to stick here for like at least, at best, like 10 streams, I think, to save up for 10k. That's assuming if I streamed long enough to where you got like a k of channel points every stream. So, if you're sitting here that long, you're at least somewhat a part of this community. So I think it's just a fair trade-off. And same thing with the, yeah. I guess, same thing with the art streams of like, yeah, my commissions are open and stuff, but if you're here watching for all the ads or subscribe to my channel, you've supported me in one way, and those ads, even though I get very little money from them, that's at least some way of support, and the idea is you're not just gonna immediately leave when you get that channel point. If you're here sticking around to get 10 paid channel points, you have to at least somewhat like me, for some reason. But anyway. And like the stream, so the idea is you're gonna be sticking around for a while, so it's just a nice little, hey, thanks for sticking around. It's also why I've run a bunch of different art raffles and stuff. It's just it's my way of giving back to y'all and saying thank you. Yeah. Which I feel like some streamers, especially big ones, kind of forget. You know, like, none of y'all have to be here. I'm very grateful for y'all being here. It makes streaming better. It makes, especially like here, because, well, like, I've never done a cooking stream. So it's very nice to see y'all still show up, even for something like this, which isn't my norm. There we go. This should be the last potato, by the way. Man, I am so hungry doing this. Yeah, the next spot, real quick, let me pivot. I'll get back to my conversation about community and stuff in a second. Pivot back to the potatoes real quick. The next step, if this is the last potato I cut up, is a little tricky to show on cam because I really can't. Or I guess I can grab the phone and hold it. But all these potatoes have starch in them. And we don't really want to have the starch in it and dirt and stuff. You don't really want to keep that there because you'll end up tasting it and it doesn't taste very good. So what you have to do is wash them. Now you notice other than watching the outside of them, I haven't watched the inside, which still has a little bit of dirt from the peeling and all the starch. That's because what I do is I just fill the potatoes up, fill it with water, and then pour out all that water and rinse and repeat a few times. I do my best to try and show y'all what I mean. Yeah, because like otherwise I don't know how else I would do it unless I use like maybe a strainer. So where I cut up all the potatoes and then put them in a strainer and then rinse it. But that's like 3 or 4 more steps when I can just put them all in here and then rinse them and that. The only problem with my strategy is you do need a little bit of upper body strength to do it like I do it. Because you're picking up this thing that's filled with not only water but a bunch of potatoes in this big ass pot, which already has some weight to it just having all these potatoes in it. So maybe if you don't have really good upper body strength, like my mom, or just for whatever reason, maybe do this, what I just mentioned as a different method. Just get a strainer and rinse them that way. Also, you've noticed in the beginning of this stream, we've been doing mostly just lo-fi music. That isn't even Sonic themed, and it's just because we're cooking. I figured lo-fi beats would fit the stream more than Sonic beats, which are more energized tunes, for lack of a better word. Yeah, I know. I'm just, in case y'all were wondering why it's not just the normal type of music, that's why. That fit the tone for our streams better. Or this stream. Yeah, it's funny. I think I mentioned music every stream so far here recently. Like the art streams and stuff and this cooking stream. I've not even once gotten into like what genre of music I like or asked y'all that. So let's fix that. Y'all, what are y'all's favorite genre of music or type of music? I am more heavy rock / emo is my more go-to kind of music. So, like, Frontiers is a really good example of kind of music I like. And, like, basically any early 2000s rock band that was popular. So, like, 3 Days Grace, Evanescence, those are Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to take this lid. We're going to have it about a crack like that and hold it like that. And then we're just going to tip it over and pour the water out. That's why none of the potatoes fall out. They get catch by the lid. And we can get all this water out. And then we repeat this one more time. And then the third time, we just keep the water in, and that's what we are going to use to cook with. So let me go do that, and I'll show you how the water will look. I'll show you how the water looks in between those two. So you can see the difference. Something I forgot to mention real quick is when you're filling the water up with the potatoes to rinse them out and stuff, you want to move the potatoes around with your hands, so make sure you get all the starch and dirt out of them. Okay, this is the second round, and as you can see, the water looks a lot more clearer. That's because we've gotten rid of the starch and the dirt. So let me do this one more time for safe measure, and then fill it up, and that will be the water we will be using to cook the potatoes with. I need to go get my charger for my laptop. I will be right back.